Hi.
Hi.
Hey, I'm sorry. I was struggling a little bit. I had to do it from my phone. I hope it's okay. It's
Yeah,
all
phones
good.
work fine. Yeah, they work real good.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
perfect. I'm sorry. I look a little rough. I just came in from out of town, so I'll trying to make sure I'm in front of some kind of technology to hook up with you guys.
Oh, okay. Good deal. That's all right.
How's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good today. Yeah, got those new patches I've been bragging about, and I'll be honest, I got slap. I thought I'm chasing around the house trying to get a patch on her today, but yeah, you're doing
Oh,
good. I'm doing good. Yeah.
oh, good. That's good. Um, I forgot to. Well, actually, I ran out of time. I was supposed to send you some of the answers to the questions you had asked about.
Mhm.
Um, I thought about it though. Like I don't even know. She asked like what he does like to trigger me. It's almost like everything. Some is like intentional, I think, and then others is like he doesn't even realize he's doing. Um, I don't know. I think I'm just curious. I just want to see like what's the like behind all the issues we're having. Is it me? Am I triggering him? Um, I'm just trying to get an understanding. I'm just really curious, honestly. I feel like there is something like messing with us, or at least with me, because
Yeah.
there's times when I try to forgive and move on. I feel like there's like a voice in my head, like you reminding me of things. Like, oh, don't forget, like he did this, and why would you forgive? It's just like it just makes me even more angry. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I'm just curious. I wanted to see if maybe you can provide some like insight. Like if I'm pretty sure there's entity attachments, probably on
Uh,
both our ends. Um,
yeah.
yeah, and I know if it's we can't be done in like one session. I don't mind. I can do as many as needed. I'm just curious.
Uh,
Really. And also like I'd asked her, um, I'm just kind of curious like what kind of lives I've lived. Like um my origin and things like that. I contacted there was another YouTuber that they banned her because she started speaking about COVID. But I did a session with her like a few months ago, and she was saying how I was from Sirius A, and she kind of went into that for a little bit. And then she told me I had like like a bunch of energy blocks. So she couldn't even read like a lot of my stuff. And she said, I feel like maybe it might be some of the stuff you're going through now, but she couldn't get past some of the energy blocks. That was like a few months ago though. And but I really wanted to talk to you guys.
uh,
I just trying to find like the right time. And but Rich, I've been following you forever, for a long time.
really?
Oh yes. And like I felt so alone for, after I guess what you call like being awake or
Uh,
whatever, there's like different levels. But since 2007, there's times I would just listen to you driving to work, coming from work, because no one really understands. You can't talk to anyone about it. I felt like isolated. And then when
yeah.
when you came on, I felt like I get her, like when she's explaining things, I feel like I can just listen to her. She's like I don't even know, you know what I mean? But it's like listening to a friend, because it's like we're on the same kind of like wavelength with the just understanding like everything going on. And you try to talk to your family about it. Like I think my husband's like, he gets it. But there's
Uh,
times when he's just like it's too much for him, and he's just like, you need to focus, like what's going on like right now. But I can't. It's like a drive inside. That was my original question that I wanted when I wanted
uh,
to when you guys started giving sessions. I really wanted to dig into that. I wanted to know like why I was so attracted to the information. I can sit there for hours with my headphones on for nights, just listen to like super soldier talks and
oh
just
yeah.
anything, yeah, related to anything. Like
Yeah.
with the paranormal, just stuff like that. I didn't know why I was attracted to that information. Um and so yeah, so I felt like I was on a spiritual journey, but then I started having marital problems. It kind of like distracted me. And
Mm.
like now I can't do anything except focus on like what's at hand. Like, I gotta take care of the house first before just trying to figure out life itself in like the matrix, I guess. I'm sorry, I just said a mouthful. I felt like I needed to get it out because I really
Yeah.
know there's no one to really talk to about this stuff.
Oh yeah.
You
Well,
know,
no, keep talking. It's really interesting, and we understand you. We get it. And she's the psychic one, and
yeah.
she'll have some great insights. But I have where I come from. Well, you've been watching me like over 10 fucking years. What?
Yeah, I've been what you probably been posting before I found you, and
Yeah.
then I was like, oh my God, this is what I needed. I felt that connection, like you get it, like you can't just
Yeah.
talk to anyone. You sometimes bring it up at work. Everyone at work is betting on sports
Right.
or
Yeah.
just whatever. No one talks about anything deep. Everyone lined up like cattle when they did the COVID vaccine. I did,
Uh-huh.
of course, but
Oh man.
and then you try to tell you like no one listens to me. I feel like I went from like thinking, everything is okay to like the world's a scary place, so
Yeah.
yeah, I read the Arancha book and I was like on cloud nine, like, everything is
Yeah.
so nice and this and that. And then you
Yeah.
start finding out the truth about things. And yeah, it's been interesting to
Yeah.
say the least.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I was so into that Urantia book for a while, and I was studying
yeah.
every day, and I got the DVD thing where you could just pop in clear words and
Mhm.
all the sons and the sons and the sons of the, and oh my
Yeah,
God. I was going
I
for it. Then
know.
something got a little funny there. I don't remember
Yeah,
the details, but
I know. It was
okay.
just too, yeah, there was a lot of information there. I actually had to listen to parts of it on like audiobook. 'Cause,
Yeah.
but the person that awake me, and I don't even know if you guys ever heard of her. I'm from North Carolina. I'm sorry, I might have that country
Well,
accent.
that's okay. I know what you're talking about. I used to live in
Down
Texas for a
south.
while.
Oh wow. um, Destiny Productions. Rich
Yeah, I've heard of
Evan.
that. Yeah, now
Yeah, they
is
called
she the
him.
one with the white hair?
Yep, she's the white
Now,
hair.
oh,
She's from
you know
South
what?
Africa.
I'm so glad. I was trying to find that YouTuber and I
Yeah,
forgot her name
yeah.
until
This
you
is
just
this.
till you just now said it.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's like Destini Productions, and
Uh-huh.
depending on how you put it together with space, it doesn't come up. But when I search history of mankind, it comes up because there's like a whole series. And
Oh, okay.
she's the one that awoke me back in 2007. And I went, you kind of go through like waves. It's like you're in
Uh-huh.
denial, then you go into like this deep depression because like everything to you has been a lie. And she got bashed, of course, because they said that she was a cult and everything like that. But she's really just speaking the truth, and no people couldn't accept it because it was too hard
Yeah.
to accept with the
Yeah.
reptilians and just everything. And so when Akil started talking, she reminded me so much of like some of the pieces of information rang true because she said the same thing back in 2007, like little things that you would only find through researching on your own. Um, that it wasn't sugarcoated. It's like this is what it is, and this is what I see when I get out of body. And
Yeah.
so yeah, so that's how I came down this journey, and then I kind of fell off like last couple of years just going through like personal stuff. So that's why I wanted to so basically just to recap, I really wanted to talk to you. I just kind of wanted to talk to someone like mindedness about that type of stuff. But then this came up. I feel like I need to dig deep and see where this is going at my relationship
Yeah.
with my husband, because we have 3 children together. Just kind of like trying to see where his head's at. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just like a point where I felt like I didn't know him anymore. And I
Could
don't
you
know,
tell
just
me
like
a little bit about the history? How long you've met, and what's
yeah.
his personality before, and how has it changed? Could you tell me a little?
Um, yeah, we met when I was 17. We're high school sweethearts. I'm 44. So we've been together for a while. We're high school sweethearts. Kind of, we got married at when I was 26. Um, we have 3 kids together, and I feel like maybe our relationship's been rocky from the beginning. Maybe I'm in denial.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
trying to see it is for what it is now. I'm trying to see, like, what is the deal? I feel like, you step out of marriage or, during a relationship, even before marriage, I've forgiven you, things are fine for a while. Like if he's bored, I ask him, like, if you're bored, do you want to not be together? I mean, what is it? He doesn't answer me. He's like, no, I'm happy. Like I wouldn't be here if I didn't want to be here, but his actions say different.
Yeah.
So we have like a long history together. We've been through like so much shit. And I feel like, is it me? Like, am I triggering you? Like, am I causing
Yeah.
him to be, because there's times when he's like, gets mad and says stuff like,
Mhm.
you're ruining my life and stuff. And I have to step back and like, well, maybe I'm just full of myself and not see that maybe I'm the bad person. I'm not really sure anymore. Like, I'm so confused. I told Akil on the email, I'm like, I'm so like lost in the situation. Like, I don't even know who I am anymore.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I had to step back from just, you know, just I wouldn't call it research. Now I'm just like, just this whatever spiritual path. I don't really feel like I'm just trying to understand life in the matrix in general.
Yeah.
But then when this happened, I'm just been consumed in it
Wow.
because yeah, it's almost like an obsessive with me. I feel like I might have um abandonment issues or something deep that I'm not seeing because I feel like I
Mhm.
just can't be without him. Like I'm gonna die, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Was that from the very beginning? Or
Yeah.
just recently? Yeah.
I feel like I've been like that from the very beginning, just very
Uh,
possessive and um,
mm.
just scared if he's gonna leave or not. I don't understand. Like I hate myself for feeling that way. Like I felt like I should have left a million times ago, but I'm just like,
Uh,
I can't let him go. And I don't know why. So I'm trying to see, maybe she can give me some insight, maybe.
yeah, I
Well,
think so. Yeah. Yeah, we
yeah.
can. Uh,
So,
okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
oh, thank you.
Uh, Gila, would you like to share what you're seeing so far?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go sort of from the beginning. The moment you start talking, I'm starting to see stuff. So first things that pop up is that before coming here on Earth, you have been with groups of Pleiadians and Lyrans and Nordic Alliance and Syrians. So like helping out a lot of like what we consider good people, good groups here in the physical universe. And you were pretty much like I wouldn't call you mercenary, but you were hired by good groups. Like they would constantly call for your help. And what would you do is like whenever you get a call, you would go to those groups and just be an observer and kind of like try to scan and see what is wrong. Like you would be finding who's infiltrating the group, who's pretending to be nice, or who's taken over. So you would just watch and constantly try to gather as much information as possible. But being like an empath, like you can connect to the whole group like a hive mind and pick up thousands of different voices, personalities, and their feelings and get it all for yourself and scan through each and everything all at once and see, is everyone okay? Are they just going through their own issues, or are they being targeted? Are they being attacked? And what's going on? And in this way, you would sort of create like a strategy plan to counter any beings that are attacking. For example, reptilians using their technologies and things to affect certain people in the group, and all of a sudden their mind just works differently. They get more triggered, they get more little issues while they're doing their spiritual work or trying to help out someone else. So they're kind of failing, and you would pick up on, oh, you're just being targeted by this one. So you would basically create a strategy plan to counter reptilians and others, while also helping the group to heal through their processes, through make sure like they cannot be triggered anymore. And with that, you're just pissing off a lot of groups that are trying to take over certain worlds, or, oh, we're just going to infiltrate, hijack, consolidate, and make sure this is ours, and then we can destroy everything from within, like a Trojan horse. So Dracos, reptilians, Mantis, AI, Gray, humans with their secret space program, they're all onto you. You've been pissing off a lot of beings by helping out a lot of good ones. And so you're just like a big target. It's the best way I can put it of the physical world terms is like a company is failing badly, and you come in and you save them from bankruptcy and you get them like, billionaires, so to speak. So with that in mind, you're being targeted by a lot of different groups because you piss off a lot of different groups, different times, like different instances, but you're just on a target list. And so some of them come together and forcefully incarnate you. Like they trap you, they catch you, they make you come here on Earth. You never wanted to be here, you were forced to come here on Earth. So that's
I
a good
felt
thing to
that.
know.
I felt that, and what you said rang so true. There's so many instances in my life, even like the most dumbest things that other people will be like, "Why do you care so much?" Like, like I work in commercial real estate. Like, if I forget to submit, like whatever, like a roof leak work order or whatever, man, I feel so guilty. I'll sit there and worry about that person where, other people be like, what's the big deal? Just do it later. But I'm like, but that person, they're waiting. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't want to disappoint someone or cause them any, like the empathy. Like I can, when people are telling me about their problems or whatever, I can just like, it depends on what the situation is. I'll just start crying. Like I can almost feel their pain. And I always wondered about that. Like, I'm like, why am I so sensitive? Like, it's really annoying sometimes. Like other people can just like whatever. And it's just like with me, it's an urgency. Like if someone needs something or so that really rang true. Uh yeah, I felt like somebody was messing with me. That's why I wanted to connect with you. I didn't realize there were so many people that I pissed off.
A lot.
Oops.
So, it was, and I always felt like I didn't belong here either. I used to tell my husband that all the time. Like I'm like, I don't know why I'm attracted to this information. And I was like, I don't feel like I belong here. But then I'm like, well, other people don't feel like they belong here. Maybe it's just that's just like a normal human emotion. So she literally just confirmed like some of the feelings I've been feeling, just through the years of what you feel like no one can tell you. Like, she pretty much hit that right on the nail.
Good,
Yeah, I don't
good.
want to be here.
Yeah. Join the club.
Yeah, I hear you.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So another thing to it all is that, you get a lot of information about people without even talking to them, just connecting, like being an empath. You know a lot about them without having to just have a conversation, really. But before coming here, you literally connected with billions of beings. So you know their past, you know what they're good at, you know their experiences. And it's like if you have heard of Andrew Bartz's The Galactic
Yeah.
Historian,
Uh,
then you are that and much more because
Oh.
you know every person that you connected to, you know their lives, their existences, what they felt. And it's like you are carrying this massive library within you. That alone is what makes you a bigger target because someone who has just trapped you here on Earth will want to get that information from you. And while, asking you the questions doesn't work, so they try to harvest it. And basically, from the moment of being born, you have experienced abduction and were heavily involved with the secret space program in 20 and back. Basically,
wow.
when you were 4 years old, you were taken for 20 years. And that 20 years is literally harvesting information. Like a lot of people are actually being trained to do missions, but for you, it was 20 years of torture and just harvesting you as much as possible.
Oh,
By
wow.
that, I mean, they're asking every person that you have ever had contact before coming here just to learn as much as possible about other races, how they can target them, how like, things they can get. And with that, there's a lot of like torture, like I said, physical torture. You get like a lot of pain and stuff. But what one of the things is that they know, hey, you're very great at making impact in people's lives and getting them on the right track, getting them to succeed, getting them to drop their cases, as in like whatever triggers they have, whatever they have going on. You're great at like helping them to learn and shift and get better. That's one of your biggest strengths. And you don't have to have a massive conversation or teach them much. It's just like literally being you. Your energy is enough to help people wake up, become more aware, become more active, and take action. So you're just like walking catalyst for a lot of people. So with that, it's kind of like, hey, they know how they can mess with you. And through those 20 years, a lot of what was done is that fake lifetime implant. So it's like watching a movie, but every blink is a movie. And for 20 years, literally, you're being sort of implanted with lots of fake lifetimes. They're not real, they didn't happen, but it feels like it did happen. It makes you believe like it happened. You have memories of it all or feelings of it. So a lot of those triggers, like let's say with your husband and other things, or like, like, hey, I know we have this deep connection, we're in love, but there's like, I love him, but there's so much pain back and forth. But what happens is that sadly, it's like they take instances of the people you were in love with in your past lives. They know what your values are like. They know what kind of people you've been connected to, what kind of strong connection and relationships you have had. And they take little parts of it for the mirroring effect. Like you're going to see it and like, oh, that's the one. But that part is what makes you to connect while not seeing the red flags or ignoring it, or like, well, it's acceptable, it's just physical world case. But what happens is that the current husband you have here on earth is a handler. It's basically not the one you know, not the one you have actual past lives with. It's like implanted with the glimpses or little parts, little aspects of the people that you have known in past, which is why it makes it so familiar, so close to you, but it's pretty much fake. While the husband is pretty much just used as a tool, programmed with gonna do things to trigger you, get you off the track, stop you from getting any progress in life, and whatever you can do to get better, to win in life or to get what you want, it's going to be constant trigger to keep you on a leash in one place. So it's kind of like they have their own little handler, like to make sure you're like have a chaperone all the time, so to speak.
Oh, wow. Makes so much sense. I can't even begin to tell you because I'm like speechless. That makes so much sense. There's there's so many, it's like I'm like having flashbacks of things that just happened through the years. I'm just like, like, how could you, I feel so close to someone who could, like betray you. You know what I mean? It's just like sleeping with the enemy, or some of the other stuff that you said is like some things that he would say. I was like, well, why would you say that? Like, oh, you're not going to get that job, or just whatever. Just like how I'm in a spiritual journey, I feel like I'm being sidetracked by the stuff that's going on. That makes a lot of sense. It's like really connecting the dots. I knew there was something, like I just don't have that ability, like the gift to see past this, to like dig and see like what is going on with this situation. Like, how could you, like I felt like it's not there. You know what I mean? Like how they have
Yeah.
one partner like love someone more than the other. Like he's always got the upper hand, like no matter what. And it's like, why can't I break free? Like I should have said, by a long time ago. Then you look at the situation, just finances, kids, just everything, like not wanting to be alone and everything. It's just that. And another thing too, what you said about, I always wondered that was my like original, like I said, I wanted to, I was so happy when you started doing sessions. I wanted to know why I was so attracted to that information with the 20 and back program and the Corey Good and all that stuff. I'm like glue. But now, like I hear about it, you wonder why I wasn't running away from it. But I'm like so curious about it. I mean, just all day, all night at work, all the time, Rich. Like I always got my headphones on listening to information, anything having to do with like the supernatural, 20 and back, anything. Afterlife stuff. Definitely you guys. But it's like that's my source of like entertainment, just everything. Like it bypasses everything right now that I find like love in. And so what she just said totally hit, like I didn't know I was being, you would think that I would be running the other way though, but I'm just, maybe I'm trying to understand it because I've obviously been mind wiped. I'm not sure. Yeah. But that part, like, Rich, will you let me know when I hit that 1 hour mark?
Oh,
When I got it. Okay. Because if I need to do like another, I'll sign up with you guys, and hopefully you'll still be offering. I just didn't want to go past my time. I was looking around I'm on the phone. Oh, okay. I think it's 11:30. I didn't want to,
Yeah. Oh, we got plenty of time.
Bypass anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I'm sorry. I'm just like, I'm trying to like take all in what she said, because like everything rings so true. I knew that I didn't volunteer to be here. I'm sorry, that one really hit me hard, because I said it so many times, and people just listen, because people say that when they're stressed or just whatever. I'm like, I still feel like I belong here. You know what I mean? I don't even know where I belong. Akil, do you know, like, can you see like if my original origin, or can you see what people's original origin is? Like what she was saying, originally from Sirius A. Oh, actually, you know what? Sorry, I just thought of my mind just going all over the place. Like, she said had a lot of energy blocks. What does that mean exactly? Does that mean like entity attachment blocking things? I'm not understanding. Like, the other lady that had gave me a reading. What does that mean? Energy blocks.
From my perspective, and Rich will add his comments later. I'm sorry for cutting you off, Rich.
No,
But
you're-
basically, like from the moment you were born, like first it starts with forced incarnation. The way they can force you to come here on Earth is to start with perception. Like consciousness cannot be caught and pushed. Like it's just basically point of view. But what they can do is create the perception where it feels like you're trapped. It's like literally putting you in this like pocket realm where you get the perception of I can't move, I'm trapped, I'm helpless, I cannot do anything. The moment you start having those beliefs and perceive the situation in that way is where you create that empty hole where they can target you. They're going to push those buttons where I can't move, I'm helpless, I can't get out of here, I'm stuck. Those beliefs, those words, those phrases is basically what's opening up for being trapped. So that's one way they get you. And those are just few things, few phrases you might say, think, and believe at that moment that will work like soul agreements, where right now I can't get out of here, but it can be so broad in this life. I can't get out of Earth. I can't get out of the job or the current situation I'm in, the family, the relationship, the boss, or whatever, all those triggers. Like I can't see anything, which means, like red flags, the way they target you, the visual stuff, the past lives, the fake lifetimes, other things, it blocks so many things, but the phrase is so general. So it's just like creating those generalities, how they can target you. And that's before incarnating here. You come here, they force people to make soul contracts and agreements. So like just whatever will fit you here on Earth, but also like, okay, you just have to agree to a bunch of things that will limit you. It's like installing an app on your like computer or phone, and you agree to the terms of service without ever reading this massive long text. Same with here, you get here on Earth, boom, there's this massive agreement with, I can't get rich, I cannot be healthy, I can't have a normal family, I can't fight back, and like tons of things that will keep you limited. So that's one thing. You get here at the age of 4 up until 24, you're experiencing 20 and back. That alone with massive torture, it's like MK Ultra. They're gonna give you some love and oh, good job, like you're helping us access memories. While next thing you know, you're being tortured and harmed and physically abused and sexually abused, and tons of other things happen, and you're just carrying all this dirt with you. And within all this programming and the mind wipe, where you're gonna have a harder time accessing your memories, harder time accessing your abilities. You can do it, you have all those gifts, you can do everything I'm doing. It's just that for you, in your case right now, there's more suppression. Like you are amazing individual who has godlike powers, but knowing how dangerous you are to them, you're a threat, they have to keep you on the leash, they have to keep you under control, so to speak. So anything they can do to trap you, whether they're using direct energy weapons to affect how you feel day-to-day life, where they're using people around you or your husband to say things and do things in your life to trigger you, to make you feel smaller, make you feel bad, wrong, and guilty, or anything else like that. They're going to do it all the time. Entities, like you have a few clusters, but it's like smaller thing. For you, it's like how they're just like trying to control your life by using our people around you. And everything that has happened from birth until this moment, they just like carries on, and all those events, how you see them, the beliefs you have about your life, that alone is also part of manifestation of what you're currently experiencing. So it just builds up. It's never one thing of, like, oh, you just have like some of this little bit going. Like, no, it's just like a lot that you're carrying.
Oh, wow. Okay, that makes sense. Wow, so I have like implanted lifetimes too.
Yeah.
I don't even know
That alone,
that
like these abandonment issues you have, like, yeah, you have experienced like few of those originally, but the fake lifetimes is like they make you live thousands of lives for hundreds of years with that person. And in each situation, he's going to cheat on you, he's going to lie, there's going to be some events happening where you have this unconditional love, the relationship is perfect, and then something happened that traumatizes you, that hurts you so much, and lifetime is over. Let's start over. And you just do it over and over and over again. One blink is one lifetime, and you experience tons of them. When you come to this world, after all this programming that you've experienced in 20 and back, you're very fragile, because little things, instances that you might not think about or not remember, they trigger the incidents and traumas in that fake like lifetime implanting. So all of a sudden, your like husband might say one phrase, and it triggers what all the torture you've experienced in there. So that's the thing as well. It just builds up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'm
Excuse-
not very
Excuse me just a minute. I'll be right back, but you guys keep talking. And if you've got any questions for Aguila, I'll be right back.
Okay, thank you, Rich. Okay. Yeah, because I'm not very, like, I guess before when I was younger, I don't know, maybe I was social, but I'm not very social now. Like I feel like I'm very anti-social. I don't trust people, like I'm very like weary of people now. And sometimes I feel bad because I feel like I don't open myself up to maybe a lot of opportunities for friendships and stuff. And I just don't feel like, why should I? Because I feel like, but that makes a lot of sense because I guess if I've been tortured and this and that and things that they've done, I'm just like very weary of people. Like I'm fine by myself. I don't feel like I, need friends to feel complete or just whatever. Like I'm totally fine being myself, watching YouTube or just doing whatever. Like the only person that like I had that love and connection to, like where I would do anything for, was my husband. Well, and my kids too. But it's just like, people are like, how come you never want to go out? You never want to go out and company dinners or parties and stuff. I'm always like making excuses, and that kind of makes sense, probably because I've been screwed over so many times, and so I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. And he's like a social butterfly. Like he's always like wanting to go out and do things. God knows with whoever, it's just kind of got to the point where I'm talking about it, not like now joking around, but just like last year, it wasn't that funny because, because I was going through those motions and I was like very depressed. Like I was like suicidal. I just couldn't handle it anymore. I just lost my father, then have to go through that. I was just like so hurt. Like I just lost my dad. Like I'm now going through this shit again. And I always wondered, like, that's why I asked you. I was like, did I screw him over in the past life? I don't really understand where this animosity is coming from. I mean, it just be like any little thing. It's just like he was just, I don't know, like now that you're saying that the hammer thing, it makes sense. Because I'm like, why do you hate, like I asked that question, like, I feel like you hate me so much? Like, what did I do? You know what I mean? Like, he just felt like he was so annoyed with me. And I just felt like it wasn't fair. I was being treated because I never done anything to deserve that. You know what I mean? But then, like, people get, I guess with mental abuse, you're sitting back there like, well, what did I do? Did I do something? Maybe I'm the trigger. Maybe I'm the bad guy. Like, do I want to be with myself? Like, you're trying to like understand the situation. So like what you're saying, like makes total sense. So, I'm sorry, you just blew my mind. I don't even know. I think I need to think of like more questions to ask you. And then if you have offer future sessions, I need to ask again, like to regroup, because like you were saying, like there's little aspects of things that I like through different lifetimes. They kind of like made it into one and, put it into an entity to be a handler in this life. It's like, was there ever like a person or being that was, like someone that I love that they might have, I don't know how to ask this, like or they just took little aspects of people I might have had past lives with and put it together. Kind of like I'm gonna create her like a perfect man, so she's fooled and have a handler. Like was there ever a being, I guess, like, to say that that was actually like a good person where they kind of like use that, or just like a makeup of multiple beings? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
Yeah, it's like was there a forced walk out and a walk in, like to kick the one out and
like was there like a one being before, I guess that they, or just like multiple, they just took little aspects of what I like and cherished and put it into
that makes sense.
Somebody.
Like, that makes sense. What's your thoughts on that, Audrey?
Yeah, it's that not lovely scenario where the being, like there's real consciousness in there, but it's basically carries little aspects or fragments of people you've met before here that you connect with deeply and you like. So it's like that person has those little glimpses where your shielding and red flags will drop. Like you see the one you love, but people that you've connected to before here in that person. But that person, like, is going to have some freedom. Like your husband can literally have some freedom of his own to do things for you, to be nice and engage. And that's where you feel like, wow, like we really are a good match. And then it's like the other side, like reptilians, Dracos, AI, they will use him as a tool. Like, okay, well, here's the time. She's feeling pretty good. Let's click the button, put this thought in his head, make him feel this way so that he will start talking and going by our script to trigger her. So your husband can act really well and he can be all in love with you and give you what you want and satisfy you. But it's so easy for the other side to push a few buttons and take over control of him and mess with you, so to speak.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cough into the.
Okay.
Like, that makes total sense. I'm sorry, I keep coming back. I knew I didn't sign up to come here.
Yeah.
That resonates with me so much. I just can't believe right now. So
I'm sorry.
Go
add the biggest fuck over, so to speak.
That's so many.
In the physical universe here, you were only working. It's like going to your current day-to-day job to do what you have to. It's like you came to the physical universe to help out the groups that were involved and needed help, and they needed someone like you. But you're not really in the physical universe. Like, talking about your origins and where you're from, there's never, like, we can go back and back and back, and it just goes for quintillions of years, for example. But with you, it's like what people consider fifth dimension, the greater reality, where you're like away from duality. It's not good, bad, right, wrong. You were never into that. But you got here because people are calling for help and like, oh, it's just one of those jobs, I'm gonna go do it. And then you get captured. So like you are used to look at people, like connect their thoughts without having to talk and explain yourself. You're very good at like give your feelings to others, where you can just like make this amazing connection with beings, like talking telepathically, fully understanding each other, and all those emotions you pick up, like you wouldn't get triggered by those. But here it's like everything that you were before coming on Earth, now you're in this massive trap and this cage, and you're being twisted because you cannot fit in. So it's not just like triggering and implants and stuff, but just this God being trapped in this super tiny box that you cannot fit in, and like it's just constantly squeezing you, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, so and I probably should know this because I watch a lot of your videos. So do they watch us 24/7? Like these entities and things and always around screwing with me?
Yeah,
I feel like it's been heavily lately, or maybe I just been in denial and just didn't notice before. That's sad. That's like, yeah. This is hard to, get through. I don't understand, like, if when shit falls out the sky or just whatever, because I just feel like the way just dealing with people at work, my family, and people are like, oh, they're ready for disclosure. I don't, just from my personal experience of just dealing with the people, very intelligent people, they're educated, like people like Morpheus said, the ones that need to be awoken of the matrix. They don't seem like they're ready. I don't understand how they're going to deal with this type of information for someone like me, like the whatever community. It's just like we've been exposed to this information for years. And the stuff that she's telling me now, even though like I know it's true and I've heard it, and I've, like with the West Penn papers, I think I might
West Penn,
yeah, how they have the soul splitting technology.
Yeah.
That was one. I mean, I've heard a lot of things, but that was really scary. There's like certain things that are said that's like very terrifying. And then you gotta like really go through those emotions where you're like in denial, then you're like you're scared to death, and then you're depressed. I mean, it's just like I don't understand how other people get through, because it feels like we're living in straight hell. And you try to find like little things to stay positive and get through, because I mean, I guess there is no death, right?
Right.
I hear so many things all the time that you don't die, but then he's sitting there saying they can totally split you, like aspects of you, and that they're not might not be a me in the, what I mean? It's like little pieces everywhere, so you're not really you. If that makes sense, you're still alive, but you're split like in hundreds of pieces.
Yeah, let me take a little bit of the sting out of that one. It's true. Okay. They can do that. But there's a thing called bilocation, and that means one consciousness, like you or me, like having an out-of-body experience. Literally, you can be meditating on the couch, And then a shift can happen where you can see yourself on the couch, but if you opened your eyes, you could see, maybe your ghost self. But you're looking, it's like your two eyeballs, but just stretched a little bit further. See, we are bilocating right now, but we're used to it. But stretch those eyeballs like this, and then just bring one way over here, and like, what the hell? We can do that already. People can bilocate. You hear stories about it. And it's being in two places at once. So you could say that you are able to soul split yourself. It's easy. We do it all the time. All of us are the God consciousness, and the God consciousness that all of us are points of view of a greater aspect of ourself that has split the points of view. And so I have more than one. So we can do that normally on our own when we're creator beings, or even when you're meditating or having some weird experience. But when you hear about it from, like when Wes Penray talks about it, soul splitting, it sounds scary as fuck because somebody else is forcing you to do it, but it doesn't hurt. It's not like it's going to be painful or it's going to mind fuck you. It's kind of, don't worry about, we got used to it long ago kind of thing. But to hear about it again, newly, but to hear about it from, hey, they're forcing this soul splitting, that we find that alarming on a deep level. So I understand your concern or your alarm, but I just wanted to let you know that we do it all the time. And it's not like chopping something in half. It has to do with changing the consideration, like hypnosis, and having a person believe or experience themselves in two places at once.
Oh, okay. So you don't really like lose your, you know what I mean? It's like if I die and it's like, am who I still am? You know what I mean? Like going to the next whatever.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can escape this this
Yeah.
trap. And like, like you kind of get so scared. You like, I don't even know who I am anymore. If that makes sense, like, the way the information was presented is like, well, if they're splitting us all into pieces. Like, I'm like, am I still okay? It's just like, you got me over here, and then they're mixing it with other souls. That's what I took from it, unless I misunderstood them. Some of his stuff.
You got that right too.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
pretty creepy.
Yes. Yeah, it's really creepy. And I'm like, oh man, it just keeps getting worse and worse. That rabbit hole goes real deep. And so, I think at the end of the day, it's kind of like, look, it is what it is. And if there's no death, enjoy this nutty ride. I mean, it can get bad, obviously, very, very bad. And then, I don't know. It's good to talk to to you guys, that you understand, to have someone to have an outlet with. It's like nobody you can talk to like about this. Like nobody understands. Like everyone still goes to church, and just it's. I don't understand why people don't dig deeper. I guess that's what I don't get it. I don't understand like how that this is not important to them, but this is something that you should be talking about all the time. I don't know. Maybe I'm behavior. Like, I don't want to talk about it all the time. Like I'm thinking about it all the time. Even when I'm at work, I have my head, I'm remote now, but when I was at work, I would have my headphones in. I would be listening to your lectures and things like that while I'm working. Other people, they're still talking about sports or, whatever soccer game they're going this weekend, politics. It's just on. And then you can see everything for what it is when you're whatever awake, like you're watching something and you see like the fuckery in it.
Right.
With like the symbolism in music videos, there's like right in your face, but the children and just the adults too, they can't see it, like because they're not looking for it, like the symbols and just everything. Even with like some of the YouTube videos, it's crazy. Sometimes I feel like there's times when I hate to admit this, but like just when like you're drunk or just whatever, I swear that there's been instances when I've seen people's eyes shift, like on videos, not from the videos people will upload, like, hey, that's a shapeshifter. I would see it, but it'd be like for a split second, then I couldn't see it again. And I'm like, did I just see a hybrid? It just be like it's little things like that. And then when you try to like tell your kids or your family, they're all looking at you like you're nuts. So it's good to be able to talk to you guys. I watch you all the time. It's like it's very, I don't know, it's special for me that I'm getting a chance to talk to you, and it's for like a little while. And so I feel like, I understand like everything that you guys talk about. And I get it. And I wish more people would. It'd be a different place for sure. But I did, the insight that Akil that you provided about like my current relationship and just things like that, that's what I needed.
Yeah.
That was amazing, because there's a lot of stuff like I felt you just hit it right on the nail. It's like there's no way. You know what I mean? Like, how would anyone know that? Just some of the stuff that you just feel, and it's just like stuff you say to yourself. Like, like I said, like, oh, I feel like alone here, which is like, why is he acting like this? And how could he be so hot and cold? And that makes total sense. Like everything how she just presented it. And so
yeah, she's amazing.
You're amazing. You really are.
Like really, you're wonderful, and you're something
you really
else.
Are. But yeah, I'll probably I hope you guys do. And if you don't, I totally understand too, because people are assholes as far as
Yeah, right.
just in general. Like yeah, because there was a time like you before I had a chance to sign up with you that you took a break from it. And I was so sad. I was like, I should have signed up when I had a chance to. But then when you guys started doing session, and then I was so excited. So I'm gonna try to dig deep and see if I have any other questions, or I'm just curious by nature. Like I just like to know how things work and things like that. And I might sign, with you guys for like a future session.
That'd be
just on like
great.
different
Yeah.
topics and stuff like that. If you guys are still offering.
Yeah.
I really appreciate your time. I took a whole day off today because I knew that whatever you tell me, I won't have to need time to process it. Like I just did not feel like logging in and like and working.
Yeah.
That's why I rescheduled the time till today. I appreciate it like a whole lot.
Oh,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, we still got about 14 minutes, 15 minutes, not 50.
I didn't even...
but yeah. We still got some time. You don't have to.
Oh, okay.
Sound like you're wrapping it up.
I didn't
you're fine.
Go over my. Okay, so I know this might not be as important as the information that you just gave me, but what lifetime? And now that what you told me, it might be implanted. I'm not really sure. This is more my amusement now. What was my lifetime like right before this one? Like real or not? Like hopefully real. Like did I live right before this one that I'm living now? Like I mean like well who was I? Was I a man or a woman? Like what did I do? Was it here on Earth? Just like vague or briefly. Could you see that?
Yeah, I'll take a minute just to get more details, but
okay.
I'll tell you in a few.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I can tell by you've done a lot of work. We've gone down a similar paths. Andrew Bartzis, I gobbled up that Vance White, that 20 hours or interview or something.
Yeah.
Back in 2014 or something.
I haven't seen a lot of his stuff lately, but I remember listening to his stuff like way back when he was saying how all that stuff came, like how he started recalling things. It was like a baseball game or something with his father. How it all came. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot to take in. And he has a lot of pods. So every now and then I'll watch something that he has going on. But lately I've been watching You and Avil and Corey Good. I've always been I feel like a resonant with him too. I'm not really all the information he gives is pretty good. I don't know. I like his personality. I know he has a lot of heat, and people are like, oh, well, he's been taken over or just whatever. But I don't know. There's something about him. Like he's, I don't know. I still listen to his information a lot too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who knows really, but it seems to me, I've listened to a lot of his stuff, and it seems like
Mhm.
he's earnest and legit, and he's not trying to bullshit anybody or
Yeah,
fuck around. I
I
mean,
know.
whether some people say he's compromised or, being manipulated,
Mhm.
I don't know. But I used
Yeah.
to listen to him and Dave Wilcock a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a remote viewer. I forgot his first name, but his last name was Stewart. And he didn't dabble in this type of stuff. He just did like remote viewing classes and things like that. But he had a large amount of people ask him to remote view Corey Good, and he
Mhm.
did it. And he
Uh-huh.
said his information came back like that it was true. And he said that he, in real life, like in the physical, that he went out jogging or something one morning and he was being followed. And I mean, that came straight from someone who really isn't into this type of community. It's just like they remote view, but not this type of information. And he said that he didn't want to mess with it anymore. That should be a proof enough, from someone who doesn't have like a biased opinion.
Yeah,
And
the remote viewer, Brad Stewart. I
oh,
think
is that
that's
his
his.
first name?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He's got the Remote Viewing Institute, different
yeah,
from Farsight, but yeah,
yeah. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting because he was
he's
freaked
he's
out.
he didn't want to mess with it anymore. Is that what Stewart
Yeah, he
said?
didn't. He
Oh
was like,
man,
look, after that, when people started showing up in real life, like
yeah, yeah,
watching him and stuff like that, he backed off and he's like, look, y'all believe whatever you want, but if he's not onto something, meaning Corey Good, why am I being followed in like the real physical? And he's like, I
yeah,
don't want to dabble in the. He's a young guy. He has like
yeah.
dark hair. Yeah,
I watch him a lot. Yeah, I've seen him several
yeah.
times. Yeah,
And I'm like, well, there you go.
yeah, yeah.
Remote
He's
viewing him saying like he's
whoa.
he's seeing what he's seeing and he believes what he's seeing, not in like so many words. Is he's pretty much saying like I think he's legit, like why would
Yeah.
the government be following me if not? And so he never, I
Mhm.
don't think he ever made another video about this type of information again. So
Yeah, yeah. Shit was getting too real for
yeah, oh yeah.
for Stewart.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. But
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it, that hits home when you start
Yeah,
seeing people
whoa,
else
damn.
watching you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All righty. How you doing there? Really? You got some stuff?
Yeah, I'm there.
Uh-oh.
oh,
It
man.
takes a little bit of time because there's like a lot of, let's say, I would call it fragmentation, but it's like certain groups want to hide information, so they overlay the event with some false information. So I'm just like taking
Oh,
like peeling
wow.
layers to see what's really going on. But like before coming here on Earth, your last lifetime, you were with a group of the Nordic Alliance people, and they specifically, it's like working with the intergalactic court. So a lot of laws of how things should work in the physical universe, or at least keeping that status quo, or how this game is played. And your group specifically was taking a case to expose a lot of groups that were just trying to take over and control a lot of like what's going on. So that includes the Council of Five, the Council of Nine, the Galactic Federation of Light, and like reptilians and humans. It's all just like they have huge involvement in the intergalactic black market with slavery, human trading, blood, adrenochrome, and everything else. A lot of that going on. But it's like trying to keep their best image maintained, like, oh, we're here to help or we're doing certain stuff, while in the shadow, what's not being shown, a lot of them are trying to even transfer consciousness into other bodies and do a lot of that dark shit and then come back. But it's like your group was specifically like spies and lawyers who would like get all this information and evidence and give it to the court. So like, hey, this is all corrupted, and like a lot of laws are like, well, a lot of the good groups cannot help Earth because, while a lot of dark groups are doing all this shit behind the scenes, pretending like they're good and they're not doing anything. And you were going to expose that and sort of flip it so that more people would come and help here on Earth. And you just got caught in the middle of it all. It's like finding too much and like, oh shit, they know, so like let's get them out of the picture, so to speak.
Oh,
So
wow.
there's a lot of information there, but I'm like, how do I put this in
To me,
English and explain it? And
I hear you. Hey, did they? oh my God, okay, this is embarrassing to ask you, but and the reason why I was asking that is because did they take me out by shooting me in the ass? And the reason why I asked that is because I have a birthmark on my behind, and it looks like a gunshot wound. And, you know,
Not in that
I don't know how
lifetime.
else to put it. Oh, not that much. Okay. It's like really prevalent. And I'm like, why does it look like I got shot? Like, was I running from someone in the past? Like, I've always wanted to know that. Maybe I'll start up with a different session with you one day because I really want to know where that birthmark came from. It's funny, and you're reminded of it every day. Like when you're like getting in the shower, you're like,
Yeah.
I got shot there for a reason. I wonder what I did in that lifetime. Like I did somebody dirty. So but in general, I know you got to go soon. I was want to ask you. So basically, I'm not a bad person, right? Like just from what you're saying, like you know what I mean? I guess you can play roles where you're bad and good, but it seems like
Yeah.
I was trying to do good. Like I'm a Libra in this life, and I'm always going, I know what's right from wrong. Like when I get angry, like at my husband and stuff, like don't try to tell me what's right from wrong. Like I'm always like saying I got a really strong sense of what's right and wrong. And like what you just said, like some of the stuff that I was doing, it makes sense, like total sense. So is that kind of like a loaded question? Is it that simple? Like
It's
you're supposed
easy.
to go
You're one of
so
the
bad,
you're one of the good ones. You're one of the good ones. Not to worry.
you know?
Right,
Yeah.
Armila?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Okay.
from our perspective, like,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, but thank you so much for letting me do a session with you. I did want that answers a lot, like why I was attracted to this kind of information. Like I said originally, that's what I wanted to know before I got sidetracked, and so that's why I'm like always trying to watch stuff that's going on with the whistleblowers and stuff like that.
All right.
This
And
has
you
been
can
like the
see.
best hour of my life.
Oh, that's great.
It really
And
has. Oh my God, I just can't.
oh, that's great.
I really appreciate what you guys do. I really do. I don't
Thank you.
comment on any of them. I'm just not that, like I don't live in Amazon reviews, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm just not that type of person. But I'm always like watching you, and you know what I mean? Like you've touched my life, and I'm pretty sure there's other people out there who don't really say much or comment or say anything, but they're listening to you. Like you've been with me on my car rides to work every day back for years, and you didn't even know there's a little Asian girl in North Carolina listening to you daily.
Thank you.
So yeah, I appreciate both of you. So thank you for taking the time out to do this. And I'll definitely sign up for another session and see what your schedule and stuff is like.
All righty.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We will see you when we see you. All right?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Evil. Thank you so much too. Okay.
Sure.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye. Bye.